Hey guys, it's Jimmy from over at Movie Death Blows. I just wanted to come back with another video and talk about some people that have left us in the last couple days. Ian Holm passed away over the weekend on Friday, which was devastating news for me. I mean, most people know Ian from Alien, where he played Ash the android, or The Fifth Element, where he played Vito Cornelius. He played Napoleon a few times, but I mean, I know him, and I think most people mainly know him as Bilbo Baggins in the original Lord of the Rings trilogy, and then he reprised the role in the prequels. I mean, the movies of Lord of the Rings meant a lot to me. The character of Bilbo, I mean, you know, he started it all. If it wasn't for Bilbo, you wouldn't have the movies. And Ian was great in the role. I mean, even though he didn't get to play him that often, I mean, you obviously see him when they're in the Shire, and then you see him again at Rivendell, and then you see him again in the Return of the King as they get ready to board the ships to sail into the Greyhaven. I mean, Ian was just great at what he did. I think the most fun he had was in The Fifth Element, where he got to play Vito Cornelius. I mean, I never met him personally, but from the interviews I've seen with him, it looks like he had a great time in that role. And The Fifth Element's a great, fun movie. The first time I ever saw him was in the original Alien, 1979. And the first time I saw it, I didn't really understand what was happening, because I was only probably like 9 or 10. I was like, why is this guy shooting milk out of his face? I don't get it. And when I got older and watched it again, I was like, Ian Holm is pretty scary in this role as Ash. Like, he's an android, and he's up to some devious things, and he's got some bad intentions going on. I mean, that scene where Ripley hits him and he's just going like crazy and things going all over the place. I was like, what the hell is going on? This is messed up.
Get her up! 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 Get her up!
And then after John Hurt's character gets the alien attached to him, they're trying to bring him back, and Ripley won't open the door, and you see Ian, he's like this, kind of mischievously like looking out the window like, do I let them in? Yeah, I'm gonna let them in because I got some stuff planned later on. And he opens it, and then everybody's not happy about that, and we obviously know what happens after the fact. But yeah, I mean, the Lord of the Rings, the books and the movies mean a lot to me. And I was really close. So, I mean, after I saw the first Lord of the Rings movie, I got my hands on every kind of Middle-earth lore and literature and information there was. The only thing I haven't read to completion is the Silmarillion, because I just can't. There's way too many names. I can't focus on all that. I might have Alexa read it to me, just so I can try to process it, all of it. I used to tell people, I was like, I remember the time I tried to read the Silmarillion, and then I forgot how to do math because I pushed so much information out of my head and took in so much other stuff. But I have a feeling if Ian didn't play the Bilbo character, it wouldn't be the same. it wouldn't be the same thing that we saw, and it wouldn't have the same heart to it. I mean, because you know Bilbo. I mean, he got the ring, and then he was corrupted by it, but he's also innocent in the fact, like, he just, you know, he didn't know what it was, and he took it. And that one scene where they're in Rivendell, and he's like, "Oh, can I see the ring again? I haven't seen it in so long." And then, like, Frodo's, like, kind of hesitant to show it to him, then he sees it, and he comes, like, all demon-like, and, like, tries to go at it. That was also creepy, and...
Here, take it, take it. It's so light. Yes, made by the elves, you know. The blade glows blue when orcs are close. And it's times like that, my lad, when you have to be extra careful.
Today we also got news that director Joel Schumacher had passed away at the age of 80. Now, I know most people, when they think of Joel Schumacher, are going to be like, "Oh, that's the guy that put nipples on the bat suit. It's the guy that put nips on Batman. If you've ever seen Fanboys, it's one of the best lines out there." It's one of the first things I think of when I think of Joel Schumacher.
Harry Knowles!
Harry who?
Hello. This man is the ultimate fanboy, Eric. His website, Any Cool News, it's like every geek's homepage, man.
Which one of you's Windows?
Me? I'm Windows. Nice to meet you.
Oh! Back off!
Harry Knowles is kicking Windows down.
Now you listen to me, perv. If you ever email my niece again, I will hunt you down like a T-1000.
Okay, Mr. Knowles, look, he didn't know.
Okay.
You will release my friends.
Listen, we wanted to break into the Skywalker Ranch. Kimmy over there said she'd give us the floor plans, okay? We were gonna break in and steal episode 1, that's it.
That is the stupidest thing I've heard since Schumacher put nips on Batman.
I mean, the Batman Forever is a good movie. There's a good movie in there if you're not hating on it from the start. Batman and Robin is a totally different thing. That's, okay, I don't know what happened here, but sure, we'll roll with it. And then, you know, Christopher Nolan fixed that about 7 years too late, but it all worked out in the end. I always thought Joel's better movies he directed were the thrillers. That always seemed to be the genre that he thrived in. I mean, if you think of The Lost Boys, that's obviously not a thriller. It's kind of like a horror thriller at that point. But, I mean, he also did Flatliners, and which is along the same lines. But, I mean, my two favorite of John's, or sorry, let me just say, my four favorite are Joel Schumacher films, are probably all thrillers. So it's The Client. The Client is one of the first movie trailers I remember watching. If you ever had pay-per-view back in the day, the commercial would just play back and forth over and over again for like the 4 movies that they were showing on pay-per-view. So The Client was one of them. A Time to Kill. A Time to Kill and The Client are both based on John Grisham books. They're all, you know, legal thrillers at that point. And then, you know, later on, you know, he doesn't trail off. Like, he did Tigerland. I'm not sure many people have seen it, but it's kind of like, it's kind of Colin Farrell's like original debut movie that kind of like made him into the star that he was. If it wasn't for that movie, I don't think he wouldn't have gotten casted in the roles that he had been. 8mm is a movie nobody talks about because it's extremely messed up. It's a Nicolas Cage movie. I remember watching it with my dad and having no idea what was happening in it. Then when I got older, I was like, okay, this is kind of disturbing. So it's got Nick Cage in it, Joaquin Phoenix is in it, and I'm pretty sure Gandolfini's in there too. That's definitely one you should check out. Phone Booth, again, Colin Farrell. That's another Colin Farrell, Kiefer Sutherland. That's a combination he has used before. I mean, not together in the same movie before, but I mean, Kiefer Sutherland from A Time to Kill, Flatliners, and The Lost Boys. Colin Farrell from Tigerland, and again here. It's, you know, it's 90 minutes. It all takes place. There's a guy in a phone booth, and they think, you know, he's a criminal and whatnot, but he's not, because the guy on the phone with him actually is. So it's an interesting concept, and it was a really fun movie to make. His Phantom of the Opera, the movie, maybe just the trailer. I think the trailer might be better than the movie, but the movie itself is awesome. I mean, it's obviously not Phantom on the stage, but it's still great. And the only other one I want to mention. Sorry, let me just mention one more. Falling Down with Michael Douglas and Robert Duvall. Most people would never know Joel Schumacher directed that movie, but he did. and it was tremendous. Like, he's done a lot of stuff outside of Batman. Like, if you get past Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, there's a great filmography for directing in this. I mean, if you just go through this, let's 85, St. Elmo's Fire, 87, The Lost Boys, 90, Flatliner, 93, Falling Down, 94, The Client, 95, Batman Forever, 96, A Time to Kill, 97, Batman and Robin, 99, 8mm, 2000, Tigerland, 2002, one of my favorite, best, worst movies of all time, directed by Joel Schumacher, is Anthony Hopkins and Chris Rock in Bad Company. That's one you got to check out. It's like a terrible version of Rush Hour, but something that's actually hilarious. And I mean, it's not good, but it's just fun to watch. And he actually hadn't directed a movie since 2011. I know he was doing some TV work. I know he directed a couple episodes of that House of Cards show. I think he did 2 episodes of it. Yeah, that's what I thought. So I mean, yeah, this week we lost Ian Holm. He had I think he had Parkinson's and some other stuff, and then Joel Schumacher passed away today at the age of 80. So, you know, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Check out some of the movies I've mentioned if you haven't seen them before, because I'm pretty sure you'll like them. All right, thanks.